everybody, and welcome back to Unit 1, Lesson 2, Expressions versus Equations. So, to understand what an expression and what an equation is, we need to understand what are terms. So, a term can be a number, a single number, let's say 1, 2, 3. They can also be negative, -1, -2, -3. They can be variables, something like a letter or a symbol, like x, y, z. They can also be negative variables, -x, -y, etc. And they can be a combination of both. And by combination, I mean they're multiplied together. So something like 2x, 3y, they can be negative as well, -2x, -3y. But they can't be added or subtracted, or, for example, something like 2 plus 3y. That isn't a term. A term essentially is a mathematical object. So now we know what terms are. They can be numbers, variables, or combination. Let's go into an expression versus an equation. These are two very commonly mixed up phrases, but they don't mean the same thing. So an expression is a combination of terms. So like we went over, they can be numbers, they can be variables, and they can be a combination of both. However, with an expression, you can use operations like an addition or subtraction. An equation, however, is when we have two expressions, something like 2 plus 3x and 4y, and you have an equal sign in between them, which means that they are equated, as in 2 plus 3x equals 4y. They're the same value. So to go over, an expression is a combination of terms, 2 plus 3x minus 4y, while an equation has two expressions with an equal sign. So why is it important to make the distinction between an expression versus an equation? Well, an expression, something like 1 minus 3 or x plus y, those simplify down to one value. We know 1 minus 3 is -2, that's one number. We don't know what x and y are as variables, but they simplify down to one number if we know what they are. Whereas with an equation, something like x is equal to 3 plus y, they don't simplify down to one value. You have to check whether they are true or whether they are false. You have to check whether x is equal to 3 plus y or whether x does not equal 3 plus y. And that's the importance between that's the importance to distinct between an expression versus an equation. An expression is one value, whereas an equation can be true or false. Thank you for listening, and look out for the next lesson.